Oh boy. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually played a football game yesterday and we won that game. Um, we did win it, contrary to popular belief. But we'll get into that. How's everybody doing? How we doing? Shout out to the people that already left some comments. If you guys are new to this, my name is Rodney. I talk about Raiders stuff, and I throw the comments up here on the screen, like so. Ardo says, "I'm gonna try to be here at 1 for the live show." I'm assuming he's in the West Coast. Ardo, well, I hope you're here, buddy, because it's 1 wherever you are. Jorge, what's going on? He said, "You're Henry. What's going on, brother?" Oh, Henry Ruggs. Are you Henry Ruggs? I don't think so. Throw some comments in there. I'll give you my thoughts on the game, and then we'll put some comments. We'll read them out. We'll talk. We'll talk about next week. Huge week, biggest week of the last 10 years. Okay, I'm just gonna start off. I want to just address this up top because I really didn't think this was gonna be a thing anymore. Um, Especially after this game, just looking at the log line, the stats. I think I'm just done having the Derek Carr conversation. I'm just done with it. The people who got on him after this game are people that just won't see the other side of the coin, and that's okay. That's fine. But I'm not. I'm just done having the conversation. If you ask me about what I thought about his play, I will give you an answer. If you ask me if I think he's the future of the franchise or if he's going to get replaced, I don't want to talk about that anymore because I've realized that after this game where he throws for 386 and has 4 total touchdowns, there's still people out there who want more, I guess, and that's just not the way I see things. So that's my thought process on that. Other thoughts on the game. You guys are being lied to by other Raider people, by the media. You guys are being lied to. This game, if you just watched the game, first of all, the defense did not play bad at all. People keep saying they let the Jets score 28 points. They went right down the field. Listen, they forced 3 turnovers, right? I believe 3 turnovers. We had 2 sacks. There were 2 straight possessions when we were up 24-13 where we forced 2 straight punts and the offense gave it right back to the Jets. This game was inches from being an absolute blowout. We score a field goal and a touchdown on those 2 drives, a touchdown and a touchdown and no touchdown. We're up 18 going into the 4th quarter. The momentum is gone. The game is over. The offense gets the ball for those punts. Run, pass, punt. Run, pass, punt. They go down and score, fumble, score again. All of a sudden, we're losing with 5 minutes to go. That's just the way football works. You could play the worst team in the league. You could be the Giants with Colt McCoy and beat the Seahawks. You could be the Houston Texans who don't have a first-round pick this year and they don't have a GM and they have an interim coach and almost beat the Colts. They fumbled at the 2-yard line. You could be Drew Lock, who can't throw a football now all of a sudden, and almost beat Kansas City. This is how the game works. And our season was over. It was over. When Nelson Aguilar, the ball was just short of him on that 4th down, the season was over. Done. We'd have to win out, which is unlikely. And we got EKG'd back to life. You guys don't understand. Like, I understand it was the Jets. I understand it looked close, although this game was an inch away from a blowout. Okay? And yeah, you are absolutely right. They ran for 200 yards. Not good at all. But they were doing that and not scoring. They had 13 points in the middle of the 3rd quarter. You could run for 800 yards. If you have 13 points in the middle of the 3rd quarter, I don't care. We were forcing turnovers, getting pressure. At the end of the day, our season was done if we lose this game. And somehow we found a way to win the game, and our season is still alive. And if you want me to be upset because our season is still alive after it was flatlined, I don't really know what to tell you guys. I just don't. Know. I hopped into some after the game, post game stuff from the Raiders, and again, the reason I don't do these type of live streams right after the game is because I don't want to compete with everybody else who does it right after the game. But I hopped into one expecting to talk about how amazing that last play was and how happy we are, and there was like arguments going on about how bad we were and how bad Carr was, and I was just like, guys, our season was over, it was done, and now we have new life. The 2019 Raiders don't find a way to win that game. The 2018 Raiders get blown out in that game. Like we gotta just, sometimes you just gotta be like, you know what? It's football. It's professional football. They're professional athletes. This game was an inch away from a blowout, and all of a sudden we were down. And we were done. And now next week, if we win this game, which is, it's possible, the betting favorites are going to be the Colts. And that's the right thing. That's the right thing that it should be. But we have a chance now. And we'll talk about why next week isn't a must win, in my opinion. But let's get into some of these comments. Just had to get that off my chest because, I mean, you guys, we were done. CJ, what's going on, man? How do I feel we didn't convert the fourth down? Well, I thought the first fourth down where it was an offsetting penalties and we had to do it again. I thought Derek made a great play. He scrambled. Now, the reason he was able to scramble is because there was a holding call. He made a good, crossed his body, throw to Hunter. Didn't count, obviously. Then the fourth down, it was just short of Aguilar's fingertips. How did I feel when we didn't do it, though? Oh, I was sick. I was sick. I thought, and again, it wasn't one of those things where we weren't ready to play or anything. It was like 10 minutes ago we were up 11 going into score, make it an 18-point game, and now how are we down 4 with and we don't have the ball and we have 2 timeouts left? I was sick to my stomach. But there's that small part of you that optimist that's like, well, we have 2 timeouts, a minute 40 left, do some math, you get the ball back with a half a minute, you throw a ball up, we'll see what happens. And the rest is history. Happy and disappointed. Yeah, again, I'm not there with the disappointed people. And that's okay. I'm not telling you shouldn't feel that way. Obviously, that'd be ridiculous. But to me, it's just our season was done. And then all of a sudden it wasn't. And we got to just, sometimes we just have to just be okay with a win. Doesn't really matter how it happens. We just got to be okay with it and move on. Dominique, what's going on? I just wish people would chill out and stop calling a rookie a bust after 12 games. Oh, God. Oh. This is another thing. This is another thing that's a thing now. With the Darius Hayward-Bay. A name familiar to a lot of Raider fans. You guys remember him making any plays like this? Anything at all? Because I don't. Henry Ruggs will be just fine, okay? What you have to understand is there's people in this offense that know the offense like the back of their hand. They know what Derek Carr is looking for. Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller have such a rapport with Derek Carr. Nelson Aguilar is a veteran who's played in the NFL before. He knows how to get open and create separation. Henry Ruggs is a rookie. And I was saying, when the season started, this kid's not going to have 1,000 yards. This kid's not going to have 10 touchdowns. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to stretch the field. He's going to have some huge plays for this team. And I don't care if he goes his first 7 seasons without getting 13 touchdowns. He's not that type of player, okay? People make the mistake of looking over across the division and seeing Mahomes and seeing Tyreek Hill and saying, I want that. Do you know how rare that is to get that? We have that at tight end. And people are looking at the Raiders and saying, I want Waller. That's how it works. So if Waller's our number 1, we don't need Henry Ruggs to be Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb. We don't need that yet. And also, those wide receivers have ones next to them that take the pressure off of them. Henry Ruggs is being doubled as a rookie, which is leaving Aguilar wide open and Renfro wide open. It doesn't just work like my dad always says, we need to get Ruggs involved. I'm like, we don't need to get anybody involved. We need to run the offense. If Aguilar has 20 catches for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, we don't need to get anybody else involved. They couldn't guard Waller yesterday, so he's the only one we need to get involved. When you start forcing the ball to people, you have a Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham situation. Sorry about that. This is another rant. Vegas Raider, we won the game. Yeah, and it doesn't feel like that after what everyone's saying. Now, the national media, it's a whole other thing. I understand. It's their job to just not talk about the Raiders. We have to rag on Greg Williams for blitzing, even though he blitzes every time he's in that scenario. It's worked every time he's done it. He just happened to bring one more guy for some reason. That was a mistake. He should have blitzed like 6 or 7, not 8. That was the problem. But he has blitzed a ton of people in the past on Hail Mary situations, and it's worked to where the ball wasn't even getting to the end zone. Carr was 0 for 6 from the blitz, 0 for 6 in that game against the blitz, which is why he did it. And he didn't blitz anyone to play before, and Aguilar still got into the end zone untouched. So I don't hate the call that he made. When DC throws for 300 and we lose, people talk bad and they still talk bad. I mean, I'm assuming you mean like no matter what happens, win or lose. Diego Yo just went absolutely. Don't get Trent Brown practice yet. I don't recall him in the game. I think they were assuming we were just going to be a better team than them, which we are. And like just Abram Jacobs, let's just hold off a week. Another thing, we were missing Abram, which is a big piece. We didn't have Jacobs, which is a big piece. You know, it's there's a lot of moving parts to this season in particular. Okay, this is a weird year for football. This is the most Vegas has ever won. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about Vegas, the betting odds place, because this season has been so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen week to week. This is a weird year. Do you think Marcus Mariota would play any better? No, and anyone that thinks that is a moron. I'm sorry to say, that's terrible. I think people are mad because they know we don't have a playoff team, but we'll probably make the playoffs. Okay, so do you mean Raider fans? I don't understand. People are mad because they know we don't have a playoff team. First of all, anyone that claims to know anything is lying to you because they don't. They can make their best educated guess, obviously, and you guys know this. I'm not acting like you guys are 10-year-olds. But we have a playoff team just as much as the Cleveland Browns have a playoff team, just as much as the New Orleans Saints have a playoff team, just as much as the Kansas City Chiefs have a playoff team, because we beat all 3 of those teams. That's as far as I can say it. And we will probably make the playoffs is something that I'm not comfortable saying. We can get into this. Actually, I'm going to read more of these comments, and then we'll get into next week. This is my first. Where are you? This is my first reaction to a game-winning touchdown live. Oh well, the Kansas City Chiefs game, 2017 was also, that was insane too. Yeah, this is a fun game to watch. Now I agree. Oh, that's a conversation between you guys. I'm so sorry about that. Daniel, on that 4th and 3, I thought Renfro got held when he ran his slant. Yeah, I think they call that. It was offsetting penalties. They called something. They called something on us or something on the Raiders. No, they called something on us or something on the Jets. Yeah, I saw Greg Williams got fired today. They were hungry for a win and they have nothing to lose. Absolutely. They threw the kitchen sink at us. People who were saying that they did it on purpose, those people are also idiots, because why would Adam Gase and Greg Williams be tanking to build a roster that they're not going to be able to use next year because they're both going to be unemployed? That doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? DC and Ruggs got someone fired. Yeah, that's true. Ronald, what's going on, man? I don't care how we got the win as long as we got the win. I agree. I'm not saying that I wasn't upset that we didn't blow them out of the water, but what I'm saying is that this game, like, people are saying, for how long are these games? 60 minutes? For 59 minutes and 12 seconds, the Jets look like they had it in the bag. We were up 24-13 in the third quarter with 2 straight possessions where we did nothing with the football. We score on one of those possessions. We're up 18 going into the fourth, and the game is over. And we ran the ball 2 straight times, pass, deflection, punt. I mean, it's just not what people make it to be. That we almost lost to the winless Jets. It was just all of a sudden, boom, fumble, touchdown, we're down. Like all of a sudden. That's how football works, man. The Titans were down 30 and they almost won. That's how crazy this game is. Sometimes you just have to take the W's. People expect Ruggs to be the second coming of Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I know. It's like, it drives me crazy. I got an argument with somebody about Derek Carr a couple weeks ago, and they're like, when Mahomes or Wilson needs to make a play, they make a play. Well, guess what? I'm not saying that Derek Carr is Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's been to 2 Super Bowls. It's like Patrick Mahomes is the next coming of Michael Jordan for football. I'm not saying that he's that. But when he throws 386 and 4 touchdowns, I mean, yeah, what else could you ask for? Did you predict us to be 7-5 by now? Oh, I'm happy you asked that, Diego, because I did. Now, I have us going 3-1 in the next 4 games, which would get us to 10-6. I have us beating the Colts, the Dolphins, the Chargers, losing to Denver. Now, that was before the season started, and I thought that the Colts were going to be bad, and I thought the Broncos were going to be good. So, I actually foresee a scenario in which we lose next week, but win the last 3, and I'm going to get into why that's not that bad of a scenario to have. I love Darren freaking Waller. Me too, man. Commitment to excellence is what people want. I understand that. Al Davis just win, baby. I absolutely understand that too. But you can't be perfect every single Sunday. And sometimes you just got to take what you can get. What first-round receiver is on a team with the best record? Ooh, is that a trick question? Is it us? Let me think. It's not Jalen Reagor. It's not Brandon Ayuk. It's not CeeDee Lamb. It's not Jerry Jeudy. It's Justin Jefferson. No, it's Henry Ruggs. Yeah, that's all you need. DC is not the problem. Gunther is. Again, I don't really think there's a problem. I don't think we don't have any game changers on defense, which is a problem. I thought the defense played well yesterday. 3 turnovers, 2 sacks, and 2 straight possessions in the third quarter where they went 3 and out or got 1 first down and went 3 and out. Gave us a chance to put the game away. To be honest with you, I'm not mad with how the defense played yesterday. We got to stop the run versus the Colts so they would keep the ball for longer than we will. Okay, let's talk about the Colts. Let's get into this. So next week is not. It's not going to be an easy game. I have to blow my nose right now, so I'm going to mute my mic for just a second. I'm not sick. It's not going to be an easy game, and here's why I don't think this game is going to be a must-win for the Raiders. The Baltimore Ravens are sitting at 6-6. They play tomorrow. They played the Cowboys. They probably win that game. They have a really easy schedule coming up. They still play the Browns, though, which is a tough game. If they lose to the Browns, they're done because each wildcard team is going to be like 11-5, 10-6, 10-6. However, if the Ravens win out, they'll be 10-6. Okay. If we lose next week, we go to 7-6. Then we play the Dolphins, the Chargers, and the Broncos. All games I believe we should be favored in. All games I believe that we will win, which would put us at 10-6, which would put us at 5-1 in the division. The only one game we have lost would be to the Kansas City Chiefs. So we would have a better record than the Baltimore Ravens in division because they lost to the Steelers twice. So if they go 10-6 and we go 10-6, and for them to do that, they have to win out. For us to do that, we have to win 3 of the next 4. We had the tiebreaker over them. So we don't have to worry about them. They're out. Now, the Colts would obviously get in. The Browns are obviously going to get in. The final wild card spot would come between us and the Dolphins. And if we beat the Dolphins, we get into the playoffs. That's how it goes. Because they also play the Kansas City Chiefs. So they're 8-4. We would beat them. This is out of order, but they'd go to 8-5. Then they lose to Kansas City, 8-6. They could win their last 2 games, go to 10-6. We would be 10-6. The Ravens would be 10-6. The Dolphins would be 10-6. And we would have the tiebreaker over the Ravens because of the division record and because of the Dolphins over the Dolphins because we had beaten the Dolphins, which is why I don't think next week is an absolute must win. Now, if we do win next week, which is a possibility, Philip Rivers is not a mobile quarterback. We get an inkling of pressure. We saw last year what happened. Okay, Deshaun Watson almost beat the Colts by himself this week. They do have flaws. Pretty sure they lost to like the Bears or something. Then that changes the game. Then there's a chance we could go at 11-5. But if we lose next week, I'm just telling you guys, do not start selling stock because the Ravens, even if they win out, we will have the tiebreaker over them because of the division record. And we beat the Dolphins. They'll lose to the Chiefs next week. 10-6, 10-6, 10-6. We have the tiebreaker over both of them. Case closed. Whew, okay. We are better than the Browns. I agree. Baker had a good first half. Happy for Baker. Oof. Lunik, what's going on, man? Do I think the Raiders will beat the Colts? I have it predicted as a win. This is before the season started. It's at home, which does help. We don't have to travel to the east and play at 10 a.m. We're going to be, I would say, the most healthy we've been in a while. We'll have Jacobs. We'll have Abram. We'll probably have Trent Brown. We'll have a full arsenal on offense. Oh, boy. This game, it's going to come down. This might be a game where Derek Carr has to play perfect, and he's done that a couple times this year. We got to establish the run game. We got to steal a possession until we got to get a turnover. I think we have a chance to win this game. People are going to try to tell you that after the last 2 weeks that we don't. That's not true. At the end of the day, they're 8-4 and we're 7-5. Do I think I'm going to bet on the Raiders to cover? I don't think I'm going to. However, I would not be shocked if we do win the game. If we win the game, people will start talking about us as a contender again. This is probably the biggest game of Derek Carr's career up until this point. Although I don't think it's an absolute must-win. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a 10 to 5 point game, 5 to 10 point game. Either way, we'll see what happens. But like I said, if we lose, it's not over. Thank you for keeping it 100, brother. Absolutely, that's what I try to do, man. I'm a Raiders fan, absolutely, and I just try to tell people the way it is. If you want to blindly follow people until the end of the earth, do that. If you want to cast them aside the second they do something wrong, that's totally fine. That's your prerogative. But I just try to step back and see what's actually happening here. What's going on, Austin? Austin the GOAT. Whew, I got a lot of comments to catch up on. Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Sports fan. Henry Ruggs is so fast. John almost made us lose. Yeah, the play calling in the third quarter, the back-to-back runs, 2 straight drives on the shotgun runs. I wasn't happy about those. That really didn't help the drives. I'm happy Farrell is back. I love his attitude. Absolutely. He's a good player. He's great against the run, and he's starting to get some pass rush. Gruden said he doesn't expect Trent Jacobs and Abram on our net. What? Wait, is that true? He doesn't expect... Okay, well, I take back everything I said about how healthy we're going to be. Ooh. No Trent Brown is tough. No Jacobs is tough. No Abram is tough. Arnett, the kid just keeps passing out on the field. Well, that changes things. That makes things harder. Sam Young has been playing pretty decent at right tackle. Jacobs not being there stinks. Abrams, that's unfortunate. We need Eric Harris to pick off Rivers 3 more times. That's tough. If we don't beat the Colts, I don't know if we're getting in. Well, I mean, I understand that. But I just laid out the path for you. The Ravens could win out. It doesn't matter if we win out. The Dolphins have to lose to the Chiefs. Done. We're in. I think the defense played good. I agree. I think they played good. But what sucks... Oh, by the way, hello, I see Nate. How are we doing? Is the defenses yesterday we allowed 200 plus rushing yards and we can't do that against the Colts? Yeah, and I don't think we will. I think it was just like one. It was just one of those things that, like, if we play the Jets 10 times, how many times do you think they're going to rush for 200 yards? 2, 3 times. Like, we didn't even know who that running back was. We probably were like, doesn't matter, and that you can't do that. But they won't do that against the Colts. Like, they're going to do everything in their power not to do the thing they did against the Jets. You're allowed to make mistakes against bad teams. You can't make mistakes against good teams. When are you going to post some Madden vids? That's off-season stuff. So as soon as this season ends, we're going to go right into Madden. I don't want to just, like, what am I going to do? Play the schedule again? I did that in the off-season. So, yeah, look at Diego. He's like my PR manager in the off-season. Anthony Martinez, no Jacobs, no Trent Brown, no Richie, no Abram. We still won. Our team is nowhere near 100%. Yeah. People forget. I mean, everybody has injuries, but that means we do too. Chargers and Broncos are dubs. Not guaranteed. No, they're not guaranteed. I think the Bronco game is almost a lock. The Charger game is about a coin toss, but if we have something to play for, then we have to win that game. That's true. The Dolphins have a tough schedule. They have the Bills too. Week 17. They listen. This. Trust me. Next week is a huge week, but it's not a must win. It is not. Gruden should have kept the pedal to the metal in the third quarter instead of backing off running football. I absolutely agree. I commented yesterday in another live. I said, if we don't have Josh Jacobs, we should throw the ball 50 times. And I stand by that. I'm not even kidding. Rivers has a bad turf toe, but is playing through it. Interesting. Do I think Marcus Mariota will start over DC next week? Spartan Jacks. I know what you're doing, Henry. I know what you're doing. When Ruggs made that game-winning touchdown, it's like pick and fumble, never happened. What do you think of Booker's performance? I think Booker, I mean, I don't really put the blame on him. There didn't seem like a lot of room to run. I think he's a good backup. I think he'll do better against the Colts, but at the end of the day, we just need to throw the ball more. Please, Gruden, just throw the ball more, please. What else we got? You guys are killing in the comments. I love it. Abram Jacobs playing if they get at least one practice in. Yeah. Said he's not confident, but hopes for good news on Wednesday. Okay, I got you. So, I think Jacobs and Abram are going to play. They don't seem like the type of people that want to miss that game. If we don't turn the ball over, we win. And we also did win, by the way, Cameron. I don't know if you knew that. A lot of people, and it's not your fault, just a lot of people are acting like we didn't win, especially Raider fans, which is just weird. It's just weird. Like, can we just enjoy it, please? Just enjoy it. The Chargers are imploding even more. Yeah, that was a tough game. I believe we'll make the playoffs. I do too. Draft. I screamed so hard my throat hurt for the next hour after that Ruggs touchdown. Dude, I didn't even scream. Like, as soon as I saw him in the air, I was like, here, look. I was sitting back like this. Like, just like this, just watching the game, just disappointed. And then when he threw it, I went. And then I saw Ruggs, and I went like that. And then when he caught the ball, I literally just got up and walked out of the room. I was like, I put my hands on my knees, and I was in the bathroom, just like, oh, we just won this game. And it was crazy. 11-5, are you with it? Absolutely. If we win next week, we're running the table. You heard it here first. If we win next week, we're running the table, as Aaron Rodgers once said. If we lose next week, then we have to run the table. But there you go. How far away from true contention are the Raiders? One more draft class and one more free agency. So next year. Simone Raider was happy that we won too. Oh, yeah. He's an eternal optimist. I'm just talking about some people that were just going off. And I'm like, dude, like, our season was done. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It was dead. And we got revived. We used a little quick revive. You guys know what that is? Shout out if you know what quick revive is. On Gruden, Gruden said he doesn't expect them, but it was because they missed practice all last week. So if they practice, they're probably playing. Okay. Next year, do you think Ruggs is going to be good? Yeah, I think he's good now. And I hope we do run the table. I do too, Geraldo. Okay, this has been a half hour of me having to talk some Raider fans off the ledge that are not you guys. It's other guys. If you got any last comments, questions, concerns, excitements, predictions for next week, throw them in there. I'll stay here for a couple more minutes, but I'm going to get off here because the who's playing right now? the Washington football team and the Steelers are playing right now, or not right now, but they're playing in a half hour. I want to get ready for that because I'm rooting for Alex Smith. I like the guy. And then there's another game, Bills 49ers, and I'm a big Josh Allen guy, so I'm gonna root for the Bills as well. Oh, look at that. Geraldo said you rock. Thank you. 34-24 Raiders. Love it. Love it. I'll make a prediction. I'm not gonna say who's gonna win this game, but I think, and I don't really watch a lot of sports like pundits. I watch Cowherd, and that's really it. Good Morning Football is probably the best show out there. But sometimes you just don't know who's going to win a game. So you don't have to make a prediction. I don't know who's going to win this game. I think the final score is going to be like 24-17. There you go. I was yelling Jets. It worked. It's only weird if it doesn't work. Absolutely. Edwards' role for next year. With what do we do with Aguilar? Do we re-sign Morrow? Re-sign Good? Re-sign Good and Morrow for sure. I think we try to re-sign Aguilar. He might walk for different money, and if he does walk, then Edwards steps into the Aguilar role. So they won't have the 1 seed, which means they won't sit their starters versus the Browns. Absolutely. I mean, the Browns are pretty much a lock. I don't think they're going to lose out, but who knows? If they are 15-0, they would try to beat the Browns. That's all. I mean, yeah, that's true too. They also play the Colts. Absolutely. Start Eric Harris, of course. Steelers got to win. Well, I don't know. I don't really care about them. I think the Browns are in, so I want Alex Smith to win. Or you know what? I mean, I like the Steelers too. I want Alex Smith to play good. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was great. You got some other Raider fans who don't know about the channel. Share it out, comment, like, subscribe, all that good nonsense. Yeah, please do be sure to subscribe. It is free after all. No charge to you. And just win, baby.